think this is very important. I think it's a very important discussion. Because overseas nurses, you come from a different country, you've come from a different place. We need to learn how things are done there. I mean, let's be fair and let's be real. We need to understand the way certain things are done to be able to, have a good working culture, right? Now, some people have made different comments, and people have said all sort of things, but I'll just be talking on few points that I think are very important, because people have done different things in their countries or in their former practice, and so when they do the same thing here and maybe it's been reported or people talk about it, they're like, oh, so what? Why will they do that? Just what? It's not as if I did, but you need to understand that there is a practice. You need to understand that there is a way things are done there, which you need to learn. Okay? So some people come in and they think it's okay to pick a call while they're in the midst of, I don't know, maybe they're just standing or maybe close to the patient, or that's a no, please. It's a no, please. We're not to be picking calls or making calls in front of a patient when you are working, please. I know most people have got breaks. Some have got tea break, they've got lunch break, and maybe toilet break and things, but not when you are with the patient. It is so wrong to pick a call or to start to talk or make a call with the patient by your side. Please, it is not done. All right? If it's something that has to happen, just speak to someone around you or your staff nurse or your child nurse or whoever and say, sorry, I need to go and make this call or do whatever. But if you're not expecting an important call, I think it is okay to put your phone on silent. While I worked on the wards, I always left my phone on silent, even knowing I had children, husband, and emergency calls could come in. But I tried to stay away, because for every time if my phone vibrates, I may be tempted to pick it, and I'm sure you can attest to that. You can agree that if your phone rings or vibrates, you're tempted, even if it's just a WhatsApp message, you're tempted to pick it up and look. And these are things that we've been doing. We're so used to it, unconsciously we do it. So please, I think it's best to put it on silent. At the end of the day, it's up to you, but just how you can manage it. But try as much as possible to pick up calls and things like that. So it's not like, oh, they're reporting me and things. Okay. Another thing that people need to learn to do is know when to speak language. I know that as overseas nurses, we come from different countries, we speak different languages and all of that. But please be very careful when you're working with someone from the same country or from the same town as you or locality. Just be careful you don't speak language where you've got your patient around you. Or maybe during handover, handover, we sit around and things, and then maybe you're sitting with this one and you're speaking your language. It's not wrong to speak your language, but speak it at the right time, okay? But not when you're doing official things or you're doing, attending to your patient and all of that. I think if we sit down and look at it, because that conversation is not involving the patient which is close to you or involving the person or staff around you, because this is maybe during working hours or when you're around in the base and things. We have to be very, very careful. If you're on your break and maybe you're on your phone, you're speaking to your loved ones, I think that's okay. Or if you're out there and you're okay to speak your language, just be very careful not to speak it where other people begin to feel uncomfortable. Remember, sometimes you may not even be saying something about the next person, but just because you're speaking in an unknown language to them, they begin to think, oh, it's all about me. So just to avoid all of that, I think if we can speak a language which they understand when you're doing things where other people are, that is quite acceptable. But not speaking language around your patient or around when you're handing over or doing any task that has to do with the job, we have to be very, very careful. Another thing I would like to point out, which someone has said, oh, Bella, I think you can talk about this, is, most of us are used to cooked food, okay? We're used to cooked food. And maybe our colleagues just bring in maybe a sandwich, or they bring in something light, or, and all of that. Let's be careful what we bring in. Why am I saying let's be careful? It's not about the food you bring in, but will the food you bring in, bring up certain kind of reaction that will make you feel bad? Okay? So someone said some people bring food that has iru or ogiri, or that's just what I know that I'm talking about. Okay, so don't be offended if I've mentioned that, but I'm just saying that because people who you work with may not react properly, okay, compared to someone who knows, oh, okay, this is iru, oh, nice, this is ogiri or dawa dawa or whatever. But let's be very careful, because some people they have no chill. They don't hide their feelings. They just go, what's thinking? What's smelling? And you may not like that expression of your food. You may not like the way they talk about it. And so you begin to get angry and you begin to get bitter. But to be sincere, it's an expression of something is smelling. Imagine if you come from somewhere that has a neutral smell into an area of pungent smell. You would react. And that's it. So just be careful, except you're the type of person who says, well, I don't care. Even if they talk about my food like this, blah, 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 things. But let's just be very careful. Let's help ourselves to adapt well, so we're not suspecting every and anything or anybody. It's just all about building a good working culture and working ethics around people. Just sometimes you want to consider other people, because when you consider other people, you consider yourself, so that you as well are not hurt by certain comments or certain things. It's all about protecting yourself, again, as an overseas nurse who has just come to give her best her best service. Okay? If you think there's anything that's not clear here, or you think, oh, Bella, you made this comment and maybe you want us to talk about it again, please put in there. If you think there are points we can talk about, that, oh, these are things that is being done, Bella, you need to talk about this, please put it in the comments. Okay, before I go, don't forget to click the like button, share the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe. Till I come your way again,